Happy
Hi.
Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. I'm
Hi.
gonna move you back. I look like you're just looking at my
Oh
stomach.
my
Dude, happy Wednesday. I'm so pumped for this topic, girl. Freedom. If you're free, I'm free. Just like that. If you're free, I'm free. Just like that. I am so pumped. I love that we have these topics that like come up, and just the 2 seconds we were talking before we hopped on live. Hi, you guys. It's amazing how you think this topic is about being free and just like kind of broadcasting, oh, I'm so free, I'm all about freedom. But really, what we're talking about here is so much more powerful because it goes beyond what the mind says about freedom, beyond what we think about freedom. And I want to dive the fuck in because this is just so good to talk about. Like, girl, I am so happy to be here. I'm really happy to be here. So welcome in, you guys. It's going to be a fun talk about freedom. I'm trying to find my right angle. This is like, okay. Hi.
You guys, we see you tuning in. Say hello if you're here with us over on LinkedIn or YouTube, and we're going to dive into this. Oh, it's 11:11 as I say that. Do you hear an echo?
Stop it.
Yay, perfect. Okay. Our clients, we're just going to dive into this real quick. Can you hear me okay? Just before.
Yeah, I think we're good. Technology is good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. Our clients often come to us, Vanessa and I, because bottom line is they want to create the most authentic life and business for themselves. At the end of the day, that's what they're looking for. They want to wake up in their most fullest, freest self and live an authentic, aligned life, have a business that matches that and allows them to show up fully as themselves. And so, I was going for my walk this morning and just letting some downloads come through around today's topic that Vanessa and I were just talking about. And this concept of full self-expression and fully feeling free, like inner freedom. We talk about freedom in all different ways, freedom, financial freedom, this and that, freedom to, do what you want to do every single day and all of this. But today's topic is about inner freedom, about really fully being free. Because we already know, I think the world has plenty of examples out there, people that can manifest abundance and prosperity and money and success and accolades and not be free. And in fact, they can be the opposite of free. They can be compartmentalized, restricted, unhealthy, sick, angry, upset, frustrated, burned out, overwhelmed. So this isn't even about like manifesting your quote unquote best life. This is about living your fullest, most freest life and having a business and a lifestyle that all lines up with that. And this starts, you guys, from within. So without, we're going to just dive into this topic a little bit, but, we'll dive into a little bit about what this is and what this is not in order to be completely, fully free. For myself included, I'm just going to speak from my own experience. In the moments that I feel most free, I am not in my head. I'm in the present moment, you guys, in the present moment. And I'm, think about like the last time you went for a walk or just took your dogs for a walk, like this morning, where you were fully present. I use these exercises in my day-to-day life to take the time to be fully present versus in my mind. For example, last night I was like cooking and I realized I was telling a narrative in my story, in my head, a narrative about something versus fully taking in the moment of what was happening, enjoying this food, recognizing it over here. My dogs are playing and I was missing it because I was stuck in my head and I was stuck in a narrative and I was stuck trying to figuring out the next step or this or that versus fully being free, full inner freedom. So what we see happening a lot, and I see this all the time online, and I see this oftentimes with our clients, and this is not what Divine Femme is about. We're not about building up and manufacturing some false sense of freedom because we create another role or a mask for ourselves to cling to. Because ultimately, when you do that, the universe will give plenty of examples and reasons for people to pop into your experience and cut that down and poke holes in your role and poke holes in the model and poke holes in the identity or the persona that you just created. That's not freedom. Freedom is not you creating this and manufacturing it from the outside. Then the universe will show you that that's not the case until you are forced with no other option but to go inward. And so often we see people, you see this as a trend even, I don't care what other people think. I'm just going to show up and I don't even care what other people think about me. If that were really true, you really wouldn't even be saying that, right? Because it's not even about what other people think about you that set you free. It's about what you think about you. When you don't care what you think about you, when you don't care about that monkey mind going that's saying, you're too extra, you're too this, you're not this pretty enough, you're not this enough, you're not all of these things, you got to do this, you got to do that. When you're not stuck in the mind and you're just fully present, you won't even care what you think about you. And when you don't care what you think about you, the universe will reflect that back to you. You won't even notice the naysayers that give a shit about anything that you have to say. You won't even be in the frequency or vicinity to receive that. And even if you did notice it for a second, it would just fly right off of you and you wouldn't even care, because you're so in the zone in your own present moment that none of that, you literally become bulletproof from the inside out, because none of that even matters. You see it for what it is. So if you're coming from this false sense of inner freedom, what you're doing is you're either projecting it out there into the world, or the world is reflecting that back to you. But when you fully are in the present moment, you don't care. Instead, you have this childlike play and sense of wonder that Vanessa and I always talk about. And you're fully free at that moment, because you're not attached to a persona or an identity outside of yourself that is not you. It's a false sense of self. And we wear many masks, and you can go from one mask to the other. But as long as you're just shuffling around masks and roles to wear, then the universe is going to give you plenty of opportunities for you to see that that's not you. That mask is truly, essentially not you. And then here's the kicker. When you create yourself from this manufactured place versus coming from within, being in the present moment and allowing whatever organic expression stems from that awareness and stems from that consciousness, that is fully free. But when you come from the manufactured place, now you have something to defend. Now you have something to worry about. Now you have something that your ego is attached to that says, if someone pokes a hole in my facade, in my role or my mask, I'm going to be offended. I'm going to be offended, and that's going to bother me. And then I'm going to go make a post about how much I don't give a shit about what other people say about me, because I have this identity to protect. I have this identity to protect. But when you are fully dropped into the present moment, guess what? There's nothing to protect. You are life itself. You're just absorbing it in the presence of all of creation, and there is nothing to protect. You are fully safe, and you are fully free, and you are fully home in this present moment. And this is when the epiphanies come. This is when the experiences come that literally you can't script, you can't manufacture, you can't try to go seek them out. Does this make sense? Is this resonating?
You know what? It is. Like, this is so, I'm soaking it up, and I've already failed because this is such fucking gold, and I'm literally in my head about how aggravated I am with this phone right now. I hope, is that better? So let me, see, I already feel, it's so easy to do. No, this is making so much sense, you guys. Thank you for being with us. Sarah, that is so good. And I love what you said about it. Like, go out and see all the people that have to blast an effort, like how I don't care what anyone thinks. If that was true, you wouldn't even have the energy or the consciousness to say that. And what lights me up about this is, let me give you an example. I told Sarah this the other day. I was walking across the street and the sun was rising, went for a walk, and I have chills all over my body right now. I went for a walk. It was the moment of the day. As the sun was rising, you could still see the moon. There was this beautiful purple haze, and I literally, it literally took my breath away and captivated me so much. I stopped. I turned to look up, and I took this breath in, and I have chills all over my body. I literally felt one with God's source, with the universe. I felt my cells, it's like a moment that just you expand. Like, I felt one with fucking everything around me, and I'm staring at, it was like you're in this trance, right? It was so fucking beautiful. In that moment, I wasn't thinking about anything. I wasn't even in my head. I was literally one with everything. I was fully part of everything. And it felt so good. You talk about freedom and fully being your fullest expressed self. That was our fullest expressed self, like those moments that we have, right? And then what happened, I literally realized that I was in the middle of the street. It was like, oh my God, what are people gonna think? Because I'm taking this moment in, and I could just feel my face just be like, like a little kid. It was so freaking beautiful. And it brings me back to two little kids. We always talk about that. Like Sarah and I are huge, and our clients we teach, we've got to go back to that childlike play. Kids, I always say, are the closest things to God's source, are the closest things from where we all come from. Kids are. Watch how kids play. They can pick their nose and don't care because they want to fix that problem. They can like put their hand in their butt if there's an itch. They can go up to another kid and be like, hey, can we be friends? Because we all feel that, but like now as an adult it'd be super weird. But like, what if it weren't? What if that was our fully expressed self? Like we didn't have to think about what we thought about what we were doing or what other people fucking thought. Like we could literally be so present. And when you're free, it like there's nothing. It's like this juicy, expanded, warm feeling that like just is all over your body. And like Sarah said, that I love, when you're in that space, that's when all the questions you've been asking and all the things you've been praying for, that's when they can drop in. You know, when we talk about having a download, like that's when you can like, that's when it drops in. But so many times, like we're so focused about what everyone else is doing, thinking, feeling. And like Sarah said, we always talk about how it shouldn't even matter, because if all you're focused about is giving out love to the world, being your fullest self, being your brightest light, being in your play, being in your love, in your light, that's what you're a magnet to. That's what will come back to you. Like honestly, and we embody this. I was like, you know what? I was thinking about doing a reel later, like just sharing some like rhymes that I do. Like, why the hell not? Like, it feels fun. It's playful. Like, that's what we have to tap into. So that was so good, girl.
Yeah, so this is good. So walk our listeners through when you were standing on that street and you were standing there looking in awe, and then what happened when the mind started to creep in and you were no longer present? What happened?
I told you, I thought about what like people would see me standing in the middle of this street, looking up like an idiot. See how we put labels, like an idiot, like staring at the moon, and just like, what would they think? Was I mental? Like who knows? Like all the stuff that just shoots through our brain, you know. Like, and Sarah and I would say that the
so
brain
this is a
yeah.
Sorry, that was
no, drop in.
So that was a perfect example of pretending to care whether or not what somebody else thinks. But before that, there was this moment where Vanessa cared what she thought, and she was listening to that voice in her head that was limiting, that was trying to not be, that was always wanting to be loved and accepted, that, you know, like all of these different mental patterns started popping up that are not. And we have this, I have this too, right? But when you can become aware of that and recognize that before you care what the other people think, you are caring what you think. And you are then restricting your creative expression in that present moment. I'm not talking to, but I'm talking to all of us. Like we are constricting that expression in the moment because of that. But when you can, so part of the game here is to fully be able to drop into present moment awareness this is ancient spiritualism, you guys, no mind, getting out of the mind, allowing yourself to have more and more gaps in your day where you are not listening to the narrative or the story or the thought patterns that are happening, because that is literally the only way you're going to be able to have these moments of oneness. And even Eckhart Tolle will share with you, sometimes it's a beautiful thing that takes your breath away that will cause you to go inward and pop into that moment, like Vanessa just shared. And sometimes it's tremendous suffering that gets you to surrender everything else that brings you to that moment. Whatever that is for you, like, fast track it. Let's just start focusing on getting out of the head and allowing ourselves to resonate and rest in the seat of who we truly are, the seat of our conscious awareness, and challenge yourself to go through your days in this present moment state of awareness as much as possible, recognizing when the mind patterns come up, recognizing you're not those mind patterns, and allowing yourself to drop back in. That's what's going to create freedom, and any organic expression that comes from that, when you're not thinking and you're allowing yourself to play in the state of wonder, like Vanessa's saying, like a child, and you don't care literally about what your own thoughts are telling you, everything else happening around you and who has what to say about it won't even exist in your reality anymore.
And take that in. That is fucking freeing. Like, I love challenging us. Think about those in the call. I'm so glad to have you guys here. Those that are watching the replay or listening on the podcast or all the other places that we're streaming. I love this right now. This is a moment, guys. All of you with us right now, we are all so tapped into each other. This is a present moment. So I want us to even just in this moment, can we feel, even this conversation is making me feel expanded. I feel it sounds bizarre, but like, again, there I go. See, we think, who cares? I feel so tapped into every single person listening, watching, feeling this energy. And that is freedom. This is freedom right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels fucking good. I want you guys to think about, let's take that in for 1 second. Like, oh man. And do you see, like, we don't have to do anything to try to get it. Just is.
You already are free.
Yes, we already are free. Think about, you guys. Have you guys ever had this moment? I want to hear what Sarah. I know you have, girl. Where like you don't even have to do anything, but you have this wash of like something just happen. And this has happened to me where just you feel a burst of joy, you feel a burst of expansion, a burst of freedom, right? And then what I've noticed I've done in the past is I'll have to like, okay, oh my God, this was good. I gotta write it down, or I gotta thank the universe, or I gotta tell someone, or like I gotta prolong this. Boom, that's where I lost it. Instead of now, and I've started to have more of these more and more, you savor the fuck out of it. You savor it, you be it, you soak it, like it just is.
You just are it. You literally are it. You're becoming and merging one with life itself. You're merging with life itself through the eternal present moment of now that you hear so many ancient spiritual masters speak on. And you're merging with life itself, where literally you can have the organic creative expression that allows you to truly, truly be free versus some manufactured false sense of self that your ego puts out there so that you can attempt to feel free because you cling to some identity outside of yourself. Guys, the answers are within. The kingdom is within. We can quote all the scriptures. We can quote all the ancient spiritual gurus. We can quote all of that. You are it. You are free. There's something that I heard Alan Watts say today, and I'm going to tweak it a little bit for this, but the reason you want to be free is the reason that you're not. He didn't use the word freedom in that, but I just happened to stumble upon that this morning, and I was like, powerful stuff when you allow this to just, you can't force this, what we're sharing. You can ponder it, allow it to seep into your consciousness, allow it, play with this, and just go out and throughout your day without trying to manufacture it. But think about that. The reason you want to be free is the very reason that you're not, because you already are. How can you find something that is not lost? It's already within you. It's already part of you. All you have to do is get out of the duality of the mind and allow yourself to sink into who you truly are, which is a soul having a physical experience now. And when you do, you immediately start to sink with life itself. And then everything that emerges from that place, your creative flow, your ideas, your downloads, the things to take action on, the people, the places, and the things will all just pop into your experience, and you'll be like, oh yeah, done, that's it. Oh yeah, done, that's it. Like, that's really creative flow, right? Staying in that flow, because the downloads will come, the actions will be taken, the people will show up, the situations will make themselves presentable, because you are literally creating it with the source of all things, which is you, which you are a part of, which is in you, which is you. You know what I mean? It's like, we talk about this forever, but you have to, there's nothing you have to do. There's nothing you have to do, air quotes around do. This is a beingness that fully allows inner freedom, and you can still enjoy all the bells and whistles that life has to offer, all the money, all the accolades, all the clients, all the successes, all the luxuries, all the things, because you're coming from a place of true inner freedom. You're not attached to any of it. You get to enjoy it all like one big smorgasbord. You know, you just get to pick and choose what is yours. Yeah, like you just get to pick and choose. Like, I want a little of this now. I'll have a little of this now. I'll have a little of this, because it's fun for no other reason than it's just fun to play and be in this creative expression with life itself flowing through you.
Oh my God, girl, this is so good. And I
It's
love
so
this
fun.
because it's so fun. What is the purpose of this life? Fun and play. Like we came here knowing that, and we put up these blocks and these compartments, and we put all that up. So break all that. Like by your I love talking. Like we love Florence Francis Shin always talks about by your spoken word. Break down that border that you put up and step into your freedom promised land. It's already here. There's nothing you have to go, like it's already here, like we said. Allow, like accept that. And like it's so fun, like just like thinking about how infinite this amazing universe is, and like how like we talk about having it delivered on a like this is fun. This is fucking fun to remember that, to know that.
Like, and watch what the universe does when you tap into this, you guys. Just watch out. Like, it is blowing, even like the things that are manifesting within Divine Femme are blowing our minds. Like when you tap into this full freedom of self-expression, because, you know, circling back to the beginning of what our clients always come to us for, they want to create an authentic life and business that is fully aligned with who they truly are. This is not something that can be manufactured from the outside, although we help with all of those little tangible 3D things as well, right? They're things that we're guided to take action on, right? Like there's all of those things, but this is full coming first from a place of full authenticity. And you don't even know what that looks like. I'm going to say this. You don't even know what that looks like. How could you? You can only experience it in the present freaking moment. So it's going to look like something different for everybody. Nobody else can tell you what was authentic to you. You can't even tell yourself what's fully authentic to you because it changes in the moment. It's always now. It's always now. And whatever you're feeling in that moment, allowing to express organically through you in the present moment when you're fully connected to life itself. That's your authenticity, and you can't figure it out. You don't even know what that is. Can you allow yourself to release the control and the mind that tells you what it's supposed to look like so you can fully be free?
All I want to shout right now is thank you. Like, thank you. I'm in such appreciation right now. Such appreciation.
It feels so good just to
like
sink into this.
And you know what's so cool? Like even just being silent for a second with all of you, like this is fun. This is life. This is everything we come here to experience and be. Like really, when we hear the quotes, you know, life is a gift, the present is a present. Like it's like, feel this. I'm gonna laugh, I want to cry.
I want to cry. I know. Do all this.
Dude, and like it's just, and again, it's bring it back to the tangible and with your spiritual business, and what is the point? Like when you're in this frequency, we talk about everything's energy, everything's vibration. When you're in this, what we just did here, us being here, like this, when you're here, it literally opens up space for all of the solutions you've been praying for and writing about and journaling about for months to come to you. It comes to you so much that with Divine Femme, like has been done for us. Like it comes to us because we practice getting in that space of play, asking ourselves what would be fun. What is our, like, we love our brand of luxurious freedom because it is everything. And it gets me so effing excited.
Yeah, you don't create your reality, you receive your reality. You get into a receptive holding place of being so present and allowing and letting all the things to just fall away, their falsehoods, and you receive it. You just open to receive it, you guys. You don't even have to create it. Everything that's ever been created or will be created is done. Like, you just got to show up and allow yourself to be free enough to be open enough to receive it without blocking it with all the mental patterns and all the fears and the doubts and the worries and the belief systems that are blocking.
I want you guys today on this beautiful 2/2/22, go do something that makes your heart so free. And it's not, we're not gonna do, but like, I want you to be in that, put yourself in that space so that you can experience the freedom we're talking about. Maybe it's singing, where like when you sing, you close your eyes, like God washes through you, do that. Maybe it's dancing or it's art or it's whatever you do. Put yourself in a situation that you feel really your fullest self and comfortable, and then watch what happens when you get there, and then you continue to get out of yourself and not even think about what you're doing and fully succumb to the universe,
to the moment,
source,
to the moment,
to the
to the
moment.
moment, to the moment, to the moment, to the moment.
Yes.
And you know what?
To the moment.
And you know, and you know what? This is sort of like, I'm going to use a metaphor. This can be done with zero actions or any actions that you want. Like, so go do whatever it is that you want to do throughout your day. It can be done at the grocery store while you're grocery shopping. It can be done anywhere. But compare this to sort of like a lucid dreamer, right? So a lucid dreamer is aware that they are dreaming. They're awake in the dream. What we're asking, or just, we're not even asking, we're just pointing, we're just saying, what if you woke up in your day the way someone wakes up in a lucid dream, where you get to realize and recognize that you're moving through your day with such awareness. You're moving through your day with such awareness, being stuck in this mind control, being stuck in the thought patterns, being stuck in the mental body. When you recognize that and you can rise above and awake to that while you're awake to this, awake to this, that you're the creator of all of this, and you just get to play, and you get yourself out of that mind pattern. This can be done in your day-to-day life. It's not even a doing. So our words, the words that we use will not even do this service. I think the words that we use are pointing to something that cannot be described, right?
Yeah. And that's the hardest part, because we're human. We want to describe. Just go
We
like
want to
shout,
describe
freedom. Yeah.
And that's the point. So like even going down the rabbit, this is a beautiful example of going down the rabbit hole, trying to figure it out or manufacture something to do, will only bring you further away from the beingness that you already are. There is no distance between you and the beingness that you already are. There is no distance. There is nothing for you to do in order for you to be fully, fully free. It has nothing to do with your environment. It has nothing to do with your circumstances. It has nothing to do with your story. It has nothing to do with your past. It has nothing to do with your projected future or what you want to create. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with right now, in this moment. You're so, I don't know who said this, but it's true. Probably Esther Hicks or something. Like, you're so free. You can choose you can choose bondage. You can choose to be stuck. You're that free. And the seeker is never going to be the finder. The seeker is always going to be seeking. So literally, the more we actually talk or try to explain it, this is not something that the conceptual mind even can understand. The conceptual mind will go, and we're just sharing as these examples, the conceptual mind, when you have awareness of your mind pattern, you'll recognize that the mind's going to pop up and say, oh, well, maybe I could go do this or I could go do that. The conceptual mind wants to make sense of this. It's not going to make sense to the conceptual mind. This is not something that you can conceive. This is not something you can manufacture. The mind is going to want to try to put it in order, try to make a linear process out of it, try to conceptualize it, try to figure out how to manufacture it, try to get, blah, blah, blah. The mind is a great tool, but this narrative that pops up is something that you have to be aware of, because the mind is the first thing that's going to suck you out of the present moment. The mind, again, is trapped in duality, you guys. Your soul is not. Your soul is oneness, conscious unity with all things. There is no opposite to who you truly are. So if you stay in your mind trying to figure this out, you will inevitably continue to suck yourself right out of the present moment, just like Vanessa, her example, right? Continually, and the more you try to seek it, the further you are from it, technically, even though you're not far from it at all, because it's really already right there inside of you. So really, we can say nothing. We can just sit here in silence, because there's nothing else that we can say. There's nothing else that we can tell you. There's nothing else that we can do other than point to something that cannot be conceived, only experienced unconditionally.
Freedom.
Freedom.
Ooh-wee! It's like a noise for me. I just watched Avatar and they're on their like soul birds and like they jump down. They're like, ooh-wee! That's
Oh, I
freedom.
love that.
Ooh-wee!
I love that movie. I love that movie.
It's such a good movie. Oh my God, well, we could be here forever. Guys, I hope this served you so well. Sarah and I love being here for you and with you guys. Thank you for everyone that's joined, everyone that's listening. As always, reach out and DM us, Divine Femme, if you want to work more with our immersions or work with us. We are really pumped for the light workers that we work with and the way this new earth is becoming, for sure.
We have really exciting announcements regarding some of the immersions that we're going to be offering, probably slated for late March or early April, like really exciting immersion, you guys. So if you're resonating with what we shared today and you want to really create an authentic life and business from the inside out, that's truly your highest self-expression, like this, stay tuned, because we're going to be dropping information on that as soon as we finalize a couple of details on the back end, which are in the works right now. So super excited to share this with you. This was divinely guided. It did fall in our lap. This is something that we know is, you know, you're going to be divinely guided. You're going to know, like, yeah, I need to be there. I need this. You know, you're going to know. You're going to have to trust that knowing.
Yeah.
So without sharing any more details, yeah, we'll share those soon. But it's all about fun. It's all about play. It's all about authentic expression. It's all about dropping into who you truly are and creating a life from that place and creating a business from that place. And we are so excited of what we're going to be sharing here shortly. But of course, SLA is already SLA is our signature business program. So reach out if you're curious about that, and stay tuned for the immersions, you guys, because this is going to be epic. And if you can't tell, like, Vanessa and I are all about it, just being fun and playful. So it's going to be fun.
We're so silly. And I love it. I will freaking love it. Freedom! I love it so much. All right. I will see you for our training, my girl. Guys, thank you so much. Love you guys.
Namaste.